Watkins, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. How you doing today, babe?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. We are
Good.
laying against foreign pillows today. We're in ATL, Shouty. The ATL, Shouty. But you are as beautiful as you are in Chicago. So
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah,
So
I had to
sweet.
fly down here to come see you. Yeah, you had a big night last night. You spoke at the happy event, the happy Hoppy, the movie
Happy.
Hoppy,
Yeah.
which is an awesome film, by the way.
That was great. It was really nice to see the film. The people had really good energy out there. It was so cool to see you show up.
Yeah, yeah. I came in, and I think they were surprised that I came in, and I didn't want I wasn't going to speak or anything. I just wanted to be in the audience because I had a job to do. I was like, I have to help my wife.
You're my
I
manager
got to be
last
her.
night.
I wasn't the manager. I was the employee. Yeah, so it was really
Oh,
cool.
good.
A lot of smart black people, and I saw Red Pill
And blue pill. Red
and
and blue
oh,
pill.
that's right, Red
They were
and Blue
both
Pill
there.
were there. Very, very smart black men, very smart black. The one and only Rick Mathis. He went to Waffle House with us.
We went to three different Waffle Houses
Well,
trying to get it
it
together.
was like the Three Bears, like hot, too cold, just right. Because the first one we went to was totally closed. The second one we went to was open, but there was nowhere to sit, and the third one was just right.
Well, the second one, did you notice they had armed security guard there?
Yeah, because they had that dude, that crackhead outside the door that was like hanging out people's windows, like he was chasing people down in their cars.
I didn't care for that vibe so much.
Yeah, like damn.
Let's go.
No disrespect to any crackheads who are listening, but seriously though, like when you see people enjoying their pancakes, like leave them
What
alone.
was going on? I thought it was a domestic situation. What
Oh,
was
with
happening
the
with the
guard? No,
car?
I think the guard was just there all the time.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we went to Waffle House and you were speaking on stage. And how did it feel to go on stage? And because you were on there for a long time.
I was on there for a while, but it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was really interesting that I was on stage and you were in the audience because usually it's the other way around.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I enjoyed listening to you. You're a smart lady.
oh, thank you, babe. I always come to you. I always come for you for tips.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
how could I
you
get
did a
better?
great job,
Yeah.
and Tyke Grant, who made the movie, is a brilliant guy, and just a lot of really smart black people together. I'm telling y'all got to see the movie Hoppy Hapi. I think they're going to Houston next. It's all about like how economics goes all the way back to ancient Kemet.
It is a comprehensive film. I mean, he
Mm,
left nothing out in that film.
no, he didn't.
Yeah, it was really remarkable. I hadn't really I'd seen bits and pieces of it, but not in its entirety. So it was
Mhm.
just it was profound. It's
Yeah,
really
it was
nice.
an honor to be in the movie because
Yeah,
yeah,
you did a good job
yeah,
in that
Taki
movie.
spent like 5 or 6 years making it, and it's something. It's like the kind of film you would have in your social studies class too, like
Yeah.
that black children should watch because it gives you a lot of black pride. It really shows you how almost everything in our economic system in America, a lot
hmm
of it started in ancient Kemet, and we don't give our ancestors the credit. Like we give credit to like these white people.
And the stories he went into the stories and the dynamics between people. And when I was watching that part, I was thinking, God, Rick Mathis is in the audience. It'd be great to do a movie on it. Like there's stories between people and how people didn't get along with each other. Like it would be an
Mm.
excellent movie. Just a movie where you see people walking around, black people walking around with Egyptian attire would be like fantastic.
Yeah, well, Rick is
Yeah.
working on a great film that we're doing together called B1 the movie, and so that's going to be out sometime next year. We'll probably roll it out around Juneteenth, and we started working on it at the convention, and he showed us some footage. It was really good.
Yeah, that footage was remarkable. I said, "How did you put this footage together so fast?" He said, "Man, I've been obsessed with it." He said he's just been working on it every day, every day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We talked about it when we were in Waffle House food. I was like scarfing down all my food, and he was doing a lot of the talking. It was great to listen because, yeah, I mean, Rizza Islam's in the movie, and Nuri Muhammad, and Queen Afua, and Jay Morrison, and you're in it, and a lot of Giselle Marcus is in it. Like, It's crazy. It's so crazy. Anyway, I said Giselle Marcus. I'm sorry.
Martin.
Giselle Martin. Yeah, Giselle
Yeah.
Marcus is a friend of mine who's on the board of trustees at Syracuse. So
Ah,
yeah, my friend that went to Harvard. But anyway,
okay.
she teaches at St. Louis University. I told you about Giselle. She's cool, really cool. Anyway, all right. So where can we see the movie Hoppy? I think they have a. I think if you go to Hoppy Films, at Hoppy Films
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, HAPI, and also they're gonna be in Houston. And did Taki and did he actually come to Houston?
Well, no, I think he picks more local people because I happen to be in Atlanta, so we don't know who'll be on the lineup. But
Uh,
whatever it is, it's going to be really wonderful.
Yeah, I might fly down to
Yeah.
Houston for that screening and support because it's such a good movie. I'm telling you, HAPI, you guys should look it up. It's one of the best like Afrocentric movies I've ever seen in
Mm-hmm.
terms of the
Mm-hmm.
thoroughness. And I mean, and we got to give our ancestors props. We're up here going to school learning how wonderful white people are. I'm not trying to do that no more. But anyway, okay, so let's get to the topic today. First of all, I want to say good morning, B1 to everybody, B1 to all of you. Put your B1s in the chat and shout out the cities that you're from. And in case you don't know, this is Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. This is where we talk about issues that are going on in the world, and we literally are laying against our pillows. It probably sounds like we're groggy. And today's topic that we wanted to hit is Jasmine Guy. Jasmine Guy is in. She just recently, and we're not here to really gossip about her life. She did a very public and very revealing interview about the crazy things that have happened in her life financially since she left a different world. It was kind of sad to read. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when I was done reading it, I just went back to some of the thoughts I've always had about the different world. Like, it's time for a reboot. It's
Well,
time for a reboot of different world.
well, you and I were sitting there talking with Daryl Bell, who played
Hmm.
Orion on A Different World. By the way, Daryl Bell is one of the coolest, smartest human beings I've ever met. But anyway, Daryl really surprised me when he was sort of and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, but A Different World is not well, like we think of it as a black show, but it ain't black owned. It's not black owned. So a lot of the characters would love to do a reboot,
Hmm.
but they can't because Warner Brothers shelved the whole damn show. They're just like, no, we don't want to do nothing with it. And they're like, okay, well, let us do something with it. No, we're not gonna let you do anything with it.
What's a number? It's got to be a number. It's got to be a number we can get to get that show back.
It might be, but I'm tell you what, I'm tired of white people owning things that we think are ours. It's like when you go and if you a Crip or Blood or something, you gonna get killed over a block. At least make sure you own that block. You know what I mean? Like if you banging over a block, make sure it's your block. Don't be banging over the
Yeah,
white man's block.
the disappointing part is the fact that Jasmine Guy doesn't even own the Whitley voice. She
Mm,
doesn't own her Whitley voice. She created that voice. That nasally, funny Southern Belle voice that is what she's
Dwayne,
about. It's what she's about because
Dwayne.
she's from Atlanta, right? She's from
Um,
that area,
is
I
she?
believe.
Yeah, she does a good job with the Southern Belle thing. Do you know that Warner Brothers is so gangster with it? They did a trademark on that voice. She cannot
She can't
use
use
that.
the
She
voice.
cannot imitate Whitley Gilbert in public without getting sued by Warner Brothers.
Now, one thing I will say that I was really happy to see her on that Disney show with Zendaya,
Yeah, that was good.
where something undercover. I can't remember what name of it. I'm sure someone will put it in the chat. But it's Casey Undercover. Maybe that's the name of it. And
Hmm.
Dwayne Wade plays her father on the show. And so they brought her back to do a couple of episodes, and she did a wonderful job there. It's like you just missed her.
Yeah.
I remember just because I looked up to her. I remember I was in college. I was actually in college maybe the last season of A Different World, and I just, it probably contributed to a lot of people going to college and wanting to be better just because of that
Yeah.
show.
She was very, very pretty. A very pretty
Beautiful. I
lady.
looked up to her. I wanted to
Yeah.
be her, but I
Yeah.
couldn't be her. It was so nice.
Nobody could be her, but yeah, and, no, and a lot of guys wanted to be with her.
Yeah. But it was just, I think it was wonderful to see Black love on screen like that. Like, Dwayne loved her and she loved him, and all the
Yes.
drama they went through to get together, and finally they got married. Like, I was there at that wedding when it
Oh,
was
that went. Oh,
aired.
I
We
mean,
were there.
the wedding was epic. Like everybody. How many of y'all give me a yes or no if you're old enough to remember, like in real time when Whitley and Dwayne got married? How many of y'all remember in real time,
Yeah.
like watching that episode like
Yeah,
that?
and she married another guy and he busted in and said no. He
Oh,
stopped
Whitley,
her
no,
at the
Whitley, no,
altar.
I love you, Byron. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful love story. Just to watch that did a lot for me.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
defined a generation, and it convinced a lot of people to want to go to HBCUs. It was, I mean, and that's the thing, I hate the fact that we get so caught up in Bill Cosby's flaws that we can't at least give him some credit for that part of his legacy. He did that. You know what I mean?
Is that what happened? I think I read somewhere that enrollment in HBCUs during the time of A Different World, was just tremendous. I don't remember what the number was, but
Yeah.
they saw like increased enrollment.
Yeah, HBCU's benefited tremendously from that show, and it really did. It did. I mean, it probably overly romanticized the idea of being at HBCU, but there was nothing cooler than the idea of going to, the real life version of a Hillman,
And
right?
and to think that, okay, so Bill Cosby, I guess he hasn't been perfect, but to think how fast people drop support for him, especially HBCUs,
Yeah.
didn't even support him.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, that's I forgot I was talking to somebody about that recently, but they were saying that that's why that's why when you think about choosing your friends, try to choose friends that are really solid, that'll stick with you through thick and thin, not people that are
Hmm.
going to run the minute it's no longer financially beneficial to be your friend. That's why I don't have a lot of friends who are politicians. I don't have any friends who are politicians.
Mm.
Politicians and celebrities are not the best friends because they're always trying to stay hot, trying to stay relevant, and they feel like you're not a person that they benefit from
Hmm.
being around, they're not gonna want to be around you anymore. Yeah.
It's like, stop using me.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I like solid like when I mentioned just Giselle Marcus by accident.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you about Giselle Marcus. She grew up in the hood, she went to Harvard, and she's now on the board of trustees at Syracuse University and a professor at St. Louis University. Well, anyway, with Giselle had a friend who was part of the Fufu Shishi Negroes in Chicago, like hung out with Michelle Obama and all this other stuff, right? Well, the lady got caught up in some sort of scandal that involved a government grant, and they wanted to send her to prison for the misallocation of those funds. Maybe she bought, some stuff that she shouldn't have bought with the grant. I don't know, but it wasn't like she was a hardcore criminal like that was just come in your house and rob you. It's like she did something, but she did do something that broke the law. But they gave her 10 years in prison,
Hmm.
and she was married with kids, like a highly educated woman married with children, all that. So they took her out of the household and put her in prison. And all her friends, all her little foo shishi, Yale, Harvard friends stopped speaking to her because they're like, we don't want to be associated with somebody who's under this kind of scandal. Giselle was the one of the main friends who said, "No, I looked out for you when the times are good. I'm gonna look
Hmm.
out for you when times are bad." And luckily for her, so when she was in there, she started a church group for the women in the prison. She started educating them.
Oh,
Like she just made the best out of the situation. I think she got out 3 or 4 years later.
gee whiz.
Yeah, like to me, those are
Oh,
solid people to me. Those are the types of friends I want. So anyway, let's
yeah.
do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. You're listening to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. And if you wonder why we haven't even got to the subject that much yet, it's because that's what we do. We talk about whatever's on our mind and when we wake up in the morning. So let's dig into Jasmine Guy. So Jasmine Guy apparently just has like some crazy financial stories about some things that happened with her. And the article I'm reading from, give me a yes in the chat, everybody, real quick, if you can hear us. Let us know you can hear me because I'm switching my screen. I'm gonna read the story to you. Give me a yes in the chat to let or say I can hear or something like that. Okay, it's from sb24news.com. I have no idea what that website is. It says actress Jasmine Guy, best known for portraying Whitley on A Different World, is opening up about a very rough period of time in her life. The actress had a recent appearance on the Tamron Hall Show, where she touched on everything from her divorce to filing for bankruptcy and how it affected both herself and her daughter. The Boston-born, Atlanta-raised actress, singer, dancer, and director has had a very storied career, albeit best known for her role in the highly acclaimed and impactful sitcom A Different World, in which she was one of the main characters in the show's six-season run. She's appeared and starred in many more productions, from School Days in 1988, I remember School
Oh,
Days,
that was a great film.
to
Yeah.
Amazon Prime's newest sitcom, Harlem. Remember when she was in Harlem Nights with Eddie Murphy? And
Yes.
she's like, quick. And she's like, why don't you lay down on the pillow quick? And Quick was like, okay. And she had a gun under his pillow, and she had a gun, something like that. I forgot what it was. But
Okay.
she's gonna kill him. Remember that?
I do remember that.
That was
Yeah.
so epic.
Yeah.
Anyway, but along the way, the actress was thrust into some hard times. In August of '98, Jasmine Guy married a man named Terrence Duckett. Their marriage brought forth one daughter, Imani, but after 10 years of marriage, Guy filed for divorce in Los Angeles courts, citing irreconcilable differences. According to a 2008 article from People, this would only be the beginning of her issues. In 2009, the Dead Like Me star fell on hard times due to extreme financial issues and had to file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy, according to a TMZ report. The outlet reported a whopping total of $123,503.64 in back taxes for Jasmine Guy, while her ex-husband owed $94,354.71. So it's a little over about $210,000 in taxes. These debts were accrued during their marriage. Then in 2012, Jasmine Guy reportedly went back to the courts due to Duckett's non-payment of child support. TMZ ran a report about after obtaining court documents that Duckett had been delinquent in his monthly court-mandated payment of $1,469. The resulting amount left him almost $40,000 in arrears. The problems kept arising when in 2014, the Jasmine brand reported that a tax lien was placed on Guy in the state of Georgia due to non-payment, adding $27,523.86 more to her debt. While the multifaceted talent has kept herself busy over the years in Hollywood, it is evident that she's experienced her share of public humiliation and struggles. But the usually private Jasmine Guy is now opening up to all she had to face. She said that she felt when it was revealed, she felt forced to share her hardships. Due to the feeling of being outed, Guy stated that she, quote, felt the need to address some of the issues that were going on, from the divorce to its after effects on her finances. Money provides security, said Jasmine Guy in response to the show's host, clarifying her relationship with money and its meaning in life as it pertains to our dependency. I didn't want money to go shopping. I wanted me and my kid to be okay. So that was a lot I just read to you, Dr. Alicia,
Gee.
the relationship expert who speaks on your relationship with money.
Yeah,
What
that's
what were you hearing when you heard her talk about how money provides security and what her relationship with money is like?
it just makes me wonder during that marriage, what types of conversations, I mean, they what type of conversations they did not have in that marriage. Like they had to run that household and run it financially. For some reason, it's like we know when tax day is. Tax day is usually April 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are they not having a conversation about what to do yearly about their money? Do they not have an accountant? Do they not have um, a way to manage their day-to-day expenses? It's like these conversations weren't happening. I know there's pressure for celebrities to live a certain lifestyle, so they have to invest in their brand, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But gee whiz. I mean, they just missed it from beginning to the end. And then afterwards, not paying child support. That's not a lot of child support, $1,400.
I
They
paid
should not.
almost that much when I was a regular guy with a regular job.
Yeah, but it doesn't go very far when you're in Los Angeles.
Mm,
$1,400 for a child
yeah.
doesn't go very far. So it tells me that her husband wasn't doing very well. But gee whiz, what a catastrophe. I mean, we see this great marriage on film with Dwayne Wade, but in real life, it was not happening for her in
It's
real
Dwayne
life.
Wayne,
Dwayne Wayne. There is
aka
first of
Kadeem
all,
Hardison.
there is an artist called Dwayne Wade.
Are you
Wayne.
serious? An
Wait,
artist? A basketball player?
no, a basketball player, Dwayne
Yeah,
Wade.
shit, not an
But
artist.
there is a reggae artist called Wayne Wonder, I think. Anyway, so I'm getting it all mixed up. Anyway, the Wayne and Dwayne's. But the thing is that what a tragic story. And she's telling her story. Why is she telling her story now?
Um, I'm not sure exactly. I think she said it's because she was outed, but she was outed like years ago. So I think that maybe perhaps it's interesting, right? Like we all want to know how things happened after the show was over. And and you see some stuff like actually, I'm Instagram friends with Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yes,
And we talk
yeah.
sometimes. And he's a smart guy. Like, he's really intelligent and really thoughtful. I
Mhm.
respect that
Mhm.
immensely. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like some celebrities you talk to them, it's like talking to a brick wall. They so self-absorbed they can't even hear nothing nobody's saying except themselves. That's why again celebrities just make terrible friends.
Well, Malcolm Jamal Warner, I mean, his career went in a total different direction.
He became a
Like
singer.
he became he's not a singer.
Well, a performer. He did that Robert Glasper song that you love.
I love that Robert Glasper song, and he's coming in concert in Chicago, by the way, next week.
Robert
I
Glasper
sure
or
would love
Malcolm
to.
Jamal Warner?
No, Robert Glasper
Oh,
is coming. So I sure would love to see that. But
okay. Shout out to
anyway,
Robert Glasper.
shout out to him.
And
He's a
also to Theo Huxtable.
Theo Huxtable, not Theo Huxtable.
Well, you gotta. I mean, I you know what I like? I like the fact that like when I made a joke with him one time because you asked me about the Robert Glasper song, and
Yeah.
I told her, I said, man, I said, do you have a crush on Theo Huxtable? You looking at that dude? And he laughed. He just laughed, right? And I think it's good to like take it in stride. Like you can't walk around like if your career is defined by something, you can't walk around and act like you didn't do it. Like I think who was it? I don't know if it was Emmanuel Lewis that hated like when people called him Webster.
Oh, you got to embrace that.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately he had a poor guy. He had like a little man's complex from what people told me. He
Yeah.
drove this big old gigantic like truck, and somebody said, "Hey, it's Webster," and he said, "It's Emmanuel Lewis, bitch."
Which is so different from his character. He was a squeaky clean little
Right. Well, that was the story. That
Webster.
was the story I was told.
I
But
believe it. I believe
well,
it.
you know what it is like if you define your career like those like that one guy that was on the if you define your career with squeaky clean stuff, it's hard for you then to step out of that and become a human being. Like that one
Mhm.
guy who was on the Disney show who became like a gangster rapper. And everybody was laughing. It's like watching you try to gangster rap. It's like watching Mickey Mouse like
Dude, this is weird.
become a thug. Like Mickey
This ain't
Mouse,
right.
we're not gonna take that seriously, you know?
Yeah.
Or who was it? Hannah Montana went through that. Miley Cyrus.
Oh God, I got a lot of thoughts about Miley Cyrus,
Oh
but
Lord, that's a
yeah.
crazy, crazy white woman.
Anyway, back to Jasmine Guy. What a sad situation to see her um try to put herself back together after this horrible situation. And I'm glad that she's talking publicly about it. It takes a lot of bravery to do that, to share your business like that. Like we didn't know any of that stuff was going on. And I would love to see her back on screen. I would love to see her pulling herself back together again. And
She's super talented.
the daughter is beautiful. We don't know what the daughter is going on. She's
Yes.
got a network of people. She's got cast members from a different world. She's even got Malcolm Jamal Warner, who probably supports her too. There's been no drama about her interpersonally, so it seems like it would be really nice to see her and Ron and all of them to just be out there successful. We as the audience members, we as Black people, we want to see them because we identify so many positive characters. I mean, that defined my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
The Cosby Show and the Different World, like that was just it was to watch all of that on the screen like that
We had our
was
kids.
just
We
beautiful.
had our kids watch every episode of the Cosby Show.
Every episode of the Cosby Show. I think you should do that. You should sit down with your children and have them watch from episode 1 all the way down to, I think it went to 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Just watch that Cosby Show.
I think that's like
It's
an awesome act
beautiful.
of rebellion too for Black families.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I can hear people when they say, "Oh, look, I Bill Cosby is a hard guy for me to support and endorse," and I agree.
Mhm. Mhm.
I don't support and endorse him completely. I don't think he should. I don't think there's much benefit to sending an 80-some-year-old man to prison. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and act like he's an angel. But what I am gonna say is that work was freaking phenomenal. I'm not gonna cuss today,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to say the F word because it's like that work on the Cosby Show and Different World ain't nothing on TV that good now. Blackish is a good show. I like it, but it ain't in the same league to me in terms of just what it really does to the psyche of our people.
If you watch the Cosby Show from the very first episode to the very last episode, you walk away with that thinking this is progressive even in today's world.
Yes.
It's progressive. Like the images that you see, even the pictures on the wall, the images that
Mm,
you see Denise dressed up in the first season. You see Denise dressed up as an Egyptian queen in the
wow.
very first episode. That would never happen now on TV.
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
I mean,
And
you'll watch it and you go, oh my goodness.
well, it is crazy. I mean, it really is revolutionary TV, and I mean, and it's crazy though that it's considered so radical to simply have a black family that's not full of like chaotic dysfunction. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, that right there is it's really a reflection of how irrational and crazy the world has become.
Hmm.
Like, it's irrational for that to be irrational. What's wrong with having a family that's like where everybody ain't trying to cuss each other out and kill each other, and
Hmm.
and the daddies ain't abandoning the kids, and the mamas ain't trying to fight with the husband every day, and and the kids don't hate each other. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's nice, but I'm sitting here thinking about Jasmine Guy some more,
Hmm.
and the fact that it was a miss in terms of her finances, and uh, when you have a child with someone, it's so important. I mean, you owe it to your family to really get all of that together and in place, everything
Hmm.
in place. You owe it to them. So it's just I'm so curious as to what happened with them.
Well, I think things happen, right? People get married, and we think it's all about the love, but like when they say nothing going on but the rent. A lot of
Yeah.
people think that there's something wrong with a statement like that, but no, like it's realistic. Like if you can't handle your basic financial needs, then it's hard for you to get to the other stuff that really makes life, so wonderful. It's hard to focus when your kids can't eat, you
Well, the
know.
the thing is that love is not just a feeling. Love is a statement. So when you and your partner get together and talk about finances, where's the money going? Where's the money coming in? What expenses do we have? That is a demonstration of love. That's a loving
Mm.
act.
Well, one thing I would say to everybody listening is, I think that a lot of celebrities get caught up in what I've seen a lot of my educated friends get caught up in, and it's trying to live a lifestyle that is consistent with what other people think you should be doing.
Hmm.
Having the stuff other people think you should have, and worrying about what other people think constantly. And I'm just gonna say, like, you gotta let that crap go.
Hmm.
Like you and I mean, you and I ain't trying to impress nobody.
No, we're not.
I ain't trying to impress nobody.
Not like that.
I don't care. Where'd you get that? What, Walmart? Where'd you get those Amazon? Like, seriously, like do not play. Like, seriously, like, I no, we're not doing none of that. Like, Gucci this, Gucci. Don't get me wrong. I mean, sometimes if you see something nice, you want to get, like, you did buy me that nice Toomey bag for Christmas, which I
No,
appreciate,
wait,
by the way.
excuse me. You got the whole set now. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
that
You're
mean
welcome.
I'm gonna tell you that I didn't know. I wasn't sure if you loved me until you bought me a Toomey bag. I'm playing. Those bags are so crazy. They have a lifetime warranty. They can survive a nuclear
I think
holocaust.
it's worth the investment
Well, I appreciate it.
because you travel a lot. I mean, that's what I think. It has to make sense. You travel a lot. You're on airplanes all the time. You got to have a good quality luggage set.
Well, what it
You
is
know.
to me is I want everybody to understand. Just because we talk about things like financial responsibility, it doesn't mean you can't have nice stuff.
Hmm.
Like, you can reward yourself. It's like if you're on a diet and you're working out every day, you can eat a brownie or a cookie every now and then.
Oh, but I guarantee you, before I bought you that luggage set, I made sure my bills were paid, my investments were all were
Yeah,
all up to stock. Like I made
get that
sure
401k
my 401,
popping.
yes, it is popping. Like I wouldn't have done it, had I not made really great decisions throughout my life in terms of finances.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think luxury items can be, if that's what you like, that can be a nice reward for the fact that you did have the discipline to handle your business.
Hmm.
You took care, you did what you're supposed to do. And then I think it has to be efficiently done luxury. Like, if you like, you and I, like, when we went to get our car, like, we didn't go buy a Toyota Corolla. Like,
No.
we got a nice brand of a car, but at the same time we wanted to be practical. Like, so we looked at those Lincolns, and I was like, oh, I think I want a Lincoln Navigator. We looked at it. Too expensive, way over the top. A brand new Lincoln was way too much money.
Not for what you were getting. I didn't think it was worth it.
Yeah, it wasn't an efficient purchase, right?
Yeah.
And then we looked at the Cadillac. I was like, nah, this is you and I were in it. We just felt like, no, this isn't doing it. Then we liked the Infinity, but then it was like, why get a new one? Why not get a one that's 3 years old and save tens of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars? And that's what we did.
Yeah.
So it's like a balance, right? It's like, okay, get yourself something nice. You ain't
But the
gotta.
car was expensive, not to.
What, the car we bought?
Yeah.
I mean, it
And
wasn't
it
cheap.
was, but we could have spent way more money on
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we paid it off quickly. Like the
Mm-hmm.
goal at that point was like, how quickly can we pay this off? That's another thing too. A lot of people, I have a lot of friends that do things like real estate, and they're real big on. A lot of them are real big on leverage. You leverage, you borrow against this, you go acquire that so you can borrow against it and buy more property and all that. I think that's a personal choice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of a ton of leverage and a ton of debt. And I think debt is a personal decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I enjoy the feeling of paying something off.
Yeah.
When I get that notice saying your car's paid off, I like that. That's like a little high. Or when we paid off our parents' house, it was like a high. It was like, no, I don't want to like pay a little bit so I can use the cash and go buy another house. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the acquisition of property, and we have some, but it doesn't have to be something where you're always trying to flex to the fullest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, because we feel good about our relationship. We don't have to have these things in order to show that we feel good.
Yeah.
So you don't have to buy me a whole bunch of things to demonstrate that you love me. You can pay your taxes, and that helps me know that you love me. You're making sure that you're investing. That lets me know that you love me. You're making sure all of these things. That's how I see a demonstration of love. Thank you very much, Boyce. I really appreciate it.
You welcome. And bake me some cookies, woman.
Lots of gratitude. How can I pay you back?
Ooh, we'll talk about that after the show.
Okay.
All right, everybody. You're listening to Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins. This is where we lay against our pillows and talk about whatever comes to mind. If you haven't done it yet, please take 1 second. Everybody, please take a second. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Also, Alicia's website. She sees couples. She's a couples therapist and full professor of social work. Her website is coachingwithdralicia.com. You can follow her at Coaching with Dr. Alicia if you want to follow Dr. Alicia. So last night I was really impressed. So you were there and you were on stage with amazing people like my brother Red Pill. Did I say it right? It's Red Pill, right? Is this Red Pill? Look at the picture.
It is red pill.
Okay,
Yes.
I feel bad. I mean, I like those
They're,
guys a
you
lot.
know what? What's great about them is that when you get it wrong, they're so nice about it. They're just like,
Oh, are they?
no, no, it's a red pill,
They're
not blue
they're
pill.
like the coolest dudes ever. I really love talking
Well,
to them.
here's the thing. For many, many years, I was like, I think I was probably like their biggest fanboys. I ain't gonna play. Like, I didn't even know you even existed online, but I for sure knew Red Pill, Blue Pill online. I used to listen to them on Blog Talk Radio,
Wow.
like religiously. Like that is,
Yeah.
I would cook dinner. I would do all sorts of stuff listening to them, and they had wonderful guests on that show. And so yeah, I was like a lifelong
Yeah,
follower
when
of
I
them.
interviewed them, I said, yeah, my wife's a big fan of everything y'all do. And they were honored. They thought it was cool. Yeah, I had them on in fact, actually, if you guys look it up on Dr. Boyce TV, you'll see where we had a great conversation. They're very smart people. And I saw them again in Louisville, good brothers.
Hmm.
And you had your book on, now what was this book? Which book were you
This is
signing us?
drama free
Oh, that's right.
conversation.
Drama free conversation. So we can
It's a workbook. Thank you very much.
communicate without killing each other.
Yes.
And then also earlier in the day, I have to give a shout out to my homeboy, my best friend Greg Wilkins, who literally was killed in Louisville, Kentucky, 25 years ago this month. Same city as right near where Breonna Taylor was killed, actually. And I went in so 25 years later to the month, I
Gee.
go to his daughter's graduation. His daughter Jasmine graduated from Spalding University in the
Oh, is
nursing
that
program.
her?
Yes, and
Awesome.
I'm so proud of her because she not only got her master's in nursing, but she also gave the commencement speech. Yeah, she
Whoa.
was voted by her classmates to give the speech and nailed
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Yes, I was so proud of her, and it was I cried a little bit because I realized while she was speaking, I said, the first I was thinking, man, her dad would be so proud of her. That was my buddy, and I remember that that moment like very clearly when he got killed. This is why I hate drugs and why I hate all the violence in the hood that they
Mm-hmm.
don't talk about because it destroys families, you know. And so anyway, I was thinking about my homeboy and I was like, man, from heaven, he's beaming, you
Yeah.
know. And it was 25 years to the month when her daddy got killed,
Did
you
she
know.
talk about her dad in the
She
speech?
didn't mention her dad,
Okay.
but we understand. We got a connection on that, and it was very, it just really hit me. Like it was very emotional for me, you know, when I thought about it. So yeah, so shout out to, you know, Smart Black. There she is on the stage.
Okay.
She was up there giving the
Wow.
speech, and she sent me, asked me like about the speech, like what she should say, how she should do it, and I gave her some tips, and it was
Oh.
cool. And she nailed it. A great student, very smart young lady. I was so proud of her. But anyway, so I guess so really digging back into this Jasmine Guy thing. Well, so okay, so she, after Different World, she goes and gets married to Terrence Duckett. They have all these financial problems and tax problems. 10 years later, she files for divorce. A year later, she files for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that she would have filed for bankruptcy if she had not gotten the divorce?
Oh, I definitely. Well, it seems like they were struggling financially, which we don't even know if that could have been one of the reasons why. Some financial infidelity or some information. Like, I didn't know you were doing that. I trusted you to do this with the money and you didn't. What happened? I'm certain that hurts. And that probably can kill a marriage really easily. And
Mm,
then just the drama around trying to get your money together. So the very first thing they do when you get divorced is that they try to come up with a parenting plan. But the second thing is they go over finances. And so it's all laid out. And sometimes when you get that reality check and you start seeing you owe this, and you see what your income is and you know that you can't pay it off, I think sometimes it is best to just say, let's just get divorced and then just file for bankruptcy. Sometimes you're just in over your head and there's no way out. And that is very scarring.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. I'm certain there's a lot of deep seated hurt that came out through that
interesting. Wow.
experience.
Wow.
hmm
Well, you know, I'll tell you what.
It was the nail in the coffin for her financially. And then, so interesting. I wonder, was she doing, was she on TV? Was she doing any shows? Do we know? What years? What year did she get
I did not
divorced? Did
see
they
her.
tell us the year?
I think the divorce. I want to say it was like 2008 ish, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
Oh, 2008.
about
Okay.
10 years after they got married in '98, and she admitted to being really happy prior to currently speaking on the rough times. She then went on to share that she's not comfortable speaking on it. I
Yeah.
know how many people suffer after a marriage or their family breaks up, and I don't mind sharing this, said the actress. It's just that now that life has looked up for me, it's hard to go back there and remember how painful it was. And a lot has happened during the pandemic to a lot of us, and I wasn't used to having a collective angst-ridden, depressive world. Usually,
Jesus.
having to go through those types of feelings on her own. God speaks of, on the whole, of the whole world now has had they had to share worries due to the pandemic. Okay, so yeah, I think you see what I'm really hearing there is here as well, and I understand why people get divorces and all that, but I think what you really got to think about in general is how your family's structure, survival plays a part in where you're going to be economically. Like you
hmm
don't like so, like I know that sometimes your family may not be the most comfortable scenario for you to be in, and it's up to every individual to decide what they want to do. But
hmm
your family is designed to give you security, you know. And so if I'm going through a tough time, I have to decide: is it better for me to go through that tough financial time on my own, or go through it with other people around me that can help me out? But then again, maybe she felt like it was better to go through it on her own. But I think that there's a lot of conversation about, you know, about how great it is to be independent. Like you have to hear independent women, all my independent, was it, all my women independent, throw your hands up at me. While
That's
Jay,
a that's a ge- that's a that song is it's a what is that independent woman? It's called what is that document
the
where they talk
Declaration of
about
Independence.
no the document where they talk about I talk about it all the time while I'm running a blank, but it is about Willie Lynch. That's a Willie Lynch song. That's
Yeah.
what that is,
Mm,
because the Willie Lynch letter talks about how you have to prop up the woman the black woman as being independent where she doesn't need a man. It's all in the Willie Lynch. You should read that
Mm,
on there. So yeah, so that's a Willie Lynch song. That's what that
mm,
is. Independent woman. Because you
yeah.
can't be independent. You can't, I mean, be honest, you can't do it on your own
Yeah, well,
at all.
the thing is, I believe men and women, we do need each other. And I think that the independent woman might want to consider what a good man can do for her in terms of security. Because you see a lot of independent women who are independently broke, right? The lowest net worth in America is that of a single black mother, actually, with kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fathers, though, have to consider how, having a family helps you. Like, first thing with family is women tend to keep you healthier, that they keep you from doing the shit that's going to get you killed, like running the streets, laying down with every hole you see within a 2 mile radius, getting into liquor and drugs, smoking weed all day. Like a good wife is going to kind of challenge you on some of that, right? Which you might be mad about it, but you'll find I think that's linked to why husbands tend to live longer
Mm-hmm.
and all these other things, and they tend to do better because you need somebody that's going to discipline you, a little bit. Now, I necessarily agree with the idea of being overbearing about it, but there is something
Mm-hmm.
to that, right? The same way we were when we were kids and we were frustrated when our mother would tell us to clean up our room or take a bath. Well, your stinky ass need to take a bath eventually.
And
You
you feel
can't,
better with a bath.
right? You can't sit there and eat Cheetos and play video games for 3 days straight. But guys will do that. Like if you leave us to our own devices, a lot of us, not all men, but seriously, like when me and my brother lived together in Syracuse and we had no women there to tell us what to do, there would be a pizza box on the living room couch and it would just stay there with
that
pizza
is
in it.
that is gross. I don't even want to
It
get
would
into
stay
that.
there for like a week. Ain't no woman gonna let. Oh, we had a scar. I put a Scarface poster in my living room.
Oh
who,
no.
who does that? Who does that? Right? And it's fun, right? It's fun at the time because you're like, man, ain't nobody gonna tell me I
You
can't
mean
put.
Scarface the movie?
I put a Scarface poster in my damn living room because wasn't nobody gonna tell
You
me
are
I couldn't do
such
it.
a black man.
What would happen? What would happen if I tried to put a Scarface poster in our living room? What would you say?
You would never even do that. It would come down for
Exactly,
sure. There's no way you
exactly,
would put that in there.
exactly, exactly. And that's the thing. And
Hmm.
it's like, even though I enjoyed that Scarface poster being in my living room, I know I need somebody to tell me that that's not appropriate. You know what I mean? Like I like that. Like so the point is like men, I think if you find the right woman, I mean all this is qualified information, right? But you find the right kind of woman, like sometimes you got to let yourself be influenced so that
Hmm.
you don't kill yourself. Because
Hmm.
that's kind of what we men do. We just sort of, you know. So I personally think that, and then also on top of that, if you get really lucky and you get a woman that knows how to make money and stuff like that, shoot, your income goes up, and and you have somebody that has your back. So there we go.
Black men and women, we need each other. So
Yes, we do.
y'all can't be independent either without us.
Nah, we can't. Well, you know what? It's oh, by the way, Lynn, to get the workbook and all that, you can go to coachingwithdralicia.com. That's coachingwithdralicia.com. So but yeah, I think that's what we should probably agree on, like in this chat. I hope we can agree. Like, can we at least agree that black women and black men need each other? Can we give me a yes if we can at least agree on
We
that?
better together.
Yeah, we are better together. Yeah, I really feel like we have to at least acknowledge that. Like if we can't even agree that black
Mhm.
men and black women need each other, then we can't. It's hard to have a conversation.
Okay, and then we can just say any individual who tries to promote the fact that black men are flawed, black women are flawed, it ain't never gonna work. All that kind of language, that's Willie Lynch language.
Mm,
Let's abolish the Willie Lynch language
all right,
and
that's
what we
right.
say.
There we go. So since my
We
wife
need
has
each
has
other.
to see a client in 25 minutes, and
Oh,
I'm
I do.
I'm gonna be
Mhm.
time conscious here. I would like to propose a resolution that give me a yes in the chat if you agree. We agree that black men and black women will do our best to love each other. You ain't gotta love everybody, right? But we will do our best to love each other and value each other and respect each other. If you agree with this resolution for intelligent black people, say yes in the chat, or say I, or yes, or agreed, or something. Let me know. Let's walk away. Let's let that be our conclusion for today. So everybody say yes. All right. So I see Lisa says yes. My name is Corey says agreed. Davina says yes. Tina Miller says yes, yes. All right, all right. Thank you, Natasha and Sonia and James and Wendy. All right, all right. So by the power invested in me by intelligent black people all over the world, I now pronounce this resolution as passed. That black men and black women, we will fight for each other, we will love each other, and we will have each other's back. So I'm gonna start with the black woman right next to me and give her a kiss.
Oh,
I love you.
love
All
you
right.
too, baby.
So everybody, please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button on your way out. Coaching with dralicia.com. That's where that's Dr. Alicia's website. She sees clients, she has classes and groups and things like that. So feel free to go take a look at the class or at the website if you are a person that is interested in some sort of therapy that might help you live your best life. And also, my name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and this is Pillow Talk with Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia. And we hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Bye, everyone.